western shore of the continent of Africa. This river is the fault line where the great Pangean continents came together and created this amazing landscape during the Jurassic period. This river, in its ancient roots, in its ancient course, which it's very near currently, as you can see in those exposed rocks below the Great Falls, this goes back millions and millions of years. In this area, the indigenous people honored a deity called the Thunderbird. Now we can envision the Thunderbird may have had a voice that lingered here from the Great Falls when they thundered down across the rolling rocks and below. But the Thunderbird was recognized in the footprints embedded in the shale beds out here from the millions-of-year-old three-toed Thunderbird. The indigenous people were very mindful of the spiritual and tremendous energy that's contained in this body of water. In its day, this was a glacial river. It cleaned itself every year during the spring freshets. During the deep of summer, it ran in pools and ripples. Gorgeous body of water. Now, if you want to know what this river and its water looked like, you need to go north as far as you can go on the Connecticut River, and you'll find trout waters there that'll take you away into another world. The water is clean, the fish thrive, and their species, which they should be existing here, no longer exist here. The short-nosed sturgeon is endangered. I can tell you of a coalition of folks that I'm working with who are about to prove that the short-nosed sturgeon exists in these upper reaches and in the reaches above Bellows Falls and above the Vernon Dam as well. This endangered species, when we get done with our research, will help assist us in carrying the weight that's important to acknowledge what we owe to this river. This river was formed many, many times over many, many millennia time periods, and it's always decided to come back to its honored course of the Pangean fault line here. I wished I could take you on the journey, but we really have to have time for other people to speak. But I would like to say that it's important, the work we do. Now, I can tell you, I want to read you 2 license articles that are 54 years old that have not been met. The first license article is from the Turner's Falls license article number 19, which states, as FERC standard license article 19, in the construction, maintenance, or operation of the project, the licensee shall be responsible for and shall take reasonable measures to prevent soil erosion on lands or streams or other water stream sedimentations and any form of water or air pollution. The Commission, upon request or upon its own motion, may order the licensee to take such measures as the Commission finds to be necessary for these purposes after notice and opportunity of hearing. Now, we're at that point where we're at an opportunity of hearing. License article number 20 for the Northfield Mountain Project. The licensee shall be responsible for and shall minimize soil erosion and siltation on lands adjacent to the stream resulting from construction or operation of the project. The Commission, upon request or upon its own motion, may order the licensee to construct and maintain such preventative works to be accomplished to this purpose and to regenerate exposed soil surfaces as the Commission may find to be necessary after notice and opportunity for a hearing. And here we are at that same place again. I wish very much that we could stay on this, be strong, think about what's important, and get this work done. We've got about 1.5 years or 2 years, but we have until May 22nd to visit. Every single one of you could weigh in on this defer before May 22nd. And as coalitions or independent organizations, you should weigh in and ask for intervenous status, because if this goes to court, and I think it will, we need to be here for each other. We need to be here for to come up with the money for the attorneys. We need to be here for spiritual support for each other. We need to be here for the river. I said to FERC in one of my last writings, FERC considers this river a public trust resource. Well, to Indigenous people, she's not a public trust resource. She's not a resource for anybody. She's a living being, and she deserves to be taken care of. Thank you for listening.
All right, and now from the Connecticut River Defenders, I want to introduce you to Fergus Marshall, a writer, correct? Are you writing? He's writing. Okay, come on up, Fergus.
Connecticut River Defenders is a group of environmental, social, justice advocates from the Connecticut River Valley and beyond, who formed in the spring of 2022 to bring attention, educate, and directly address and counter the greenwashing of First Light, the owners of Northfield Mountain Pump Storage. Looking over at this beautiful part of the Connecticut River known as Barton's Cove, you can see the beautiful waterway that stretches between the Great Falls here and the Vernon Dam upriver in Vermont. It's hard to conceive, but this stretch of the river gets violently and abruptly altered by reversing its flow for many miles when water is extracted or released from the operations at Northfield Mountain. Right now, everything is peaceful, but when conditions are ripe for profit, this part of the river and its aquatic life goes through hell. More on this later, and hope to see everyone over at the pump station. Thank you so much.
All right, so we are blessed to have some wonderful musicians in the valley here. I want to introduce you now to Ben Groskup, who is a remarkable movement singer and the executive director of the People's Music Network. So Ben, please.
All right, yes, let's sing, friends. Come on. We're going to rise as one.
Rise as one. Okay. We'll sing with you, man.
Yes, friends. This day is a coalition effort of people all over Western Massachusetts who are being affected by projects, false climate solutions. And friends all over the world, there's false climate solutions. We've got colonization of people all over the world, and it's happening here in the United States too. We gotta rise up as one to stop it. We will march as one. We will stand as one. We will rise as one. We will march. We will march as one. We will stand as one. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. We will rise. We will rise as one. Working hand in hand, we will rise as one. Let's do that together. Working hand in hand, we will rise as one. Working hand in hand, we will rise as one. We will laugh, we will cry. We will laugh as one, we will cry as one. We will rise as one. We will laugh as one. We will cry as one. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. Working hand in hand, we will rise as one. We will walk. We will bike. We will walk as one. We will bike as one. We will rise as one. We will walk as one. We will bike as one. We will rise as one. We will rise. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. We will working hand in hand. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. We'll working hand in hand. We will rise as one. Let's get a little quiet. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. A little louder. 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 We will rise as one. Shout out loud. We will rise as one. Thank you.
All right, so as Ben mentioned, we are in fact a coalition effort. We are a coalition of the Connecticut River Defenders, Smart Solar Shutesbury, and the Allies for a Responsible Solar, also in Shutesbury, and No Assault and Batteries for Wendell. So I want you to imagine a small town of 900 people. And this is a town that has been curating a greenway for over a century. It's part of a wildlife corridor that stretches from the Connecticut border in the south to the New Hampshire border in the north. Now, let's clear cut 11 acres of forest, pave over 2.5 of them, plop down, get this, 780 11 by 8 by 5 foot lithium ion batteries. 780, the size of an industrial shipping pod each, with its own air conditioning unit each, running around the clock, surrounded by a 25-foot plastic wall because it makes so much noise that it terrifies wildlife. Oh, and with bright lights to drown out the night sky. Now let's say that little town is Wendell, and the greenway runs right through the Wendell State Forest, which is a jewel of Franklin County. And let's say there's an undisturbed wetland there with an aquifer under it. That's one of the most promising in the town. It could produce clean water for ages. Now you tell me, is that undisturbed wildlife corridor, curated for over a century, a good place to put lithium-ion batteries that can produce fires that cannot be put out unless all 2.5 acres are buried under 3.5 feet of concrete? Or it'll burn down the whole forest. And this in a town with a fire department of 1 truck. Now, is that a smart place to put 780 toxic lithium batteries? We have to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. Yes, promote the use of solar and protect our trees that sequester carbon. We can't clear-cut forests for industrial solar or to accommodate lithium batteries that can burn down all the precious trees. We're all thinking about climate resilience and transitioning to solar. And we need to protect democracy, local home rule, because we know what kinds of energy facilities sited where are best in our communities. So Massachusetts state leaders, work with us so we can figure out how to do this right. If the state can override Shutesbury and Wendell zoning bylaws to accommodate the corporate appetite for profits, then what other community is safe? And say goodbye to that curated forest greenway, that jewel of Franklin County. But if we stand together as a region, as we did to stop the building of the nuke plant on the Montague Plains, as we did to close down Roe Yankee, and then Vermont Yankee, as we did to prevent the Kinder Morgan fracked gas pipeline, then we in Western Mass become unstoppable. So let's do it. Let's shut down Northfield Mountain River Sucker. No assault and batteries in Wendell, and no clear cutting of the Shutesbury forests. Together we can find a way to walk and chew gum at the same time, resist climate change, and protect our biodiversity. Thank you. I want to now introduce you to Hannah Zara.
Hello. All right, this song is called The Toy. Whew. The whole world a toy at the end of a stick, and the fat-fingered boy who's brandishing it. Knowing not who she is, and knowing not what he does, we collectively pitch as he swings at a dove. And the fat-fingered boy who is brandishing it, knowing not who she is, knowing not what he does, we collectively pitch as he swings at a dove up above. The whole world a toy in a cage on his desk. He will stop between class to observe how she spins, how her land masses move and tectonic plates shift. He wants to know how it's done. He makes her do it again. He makes her do it again. The whole world a pet he is learning to train, and the more he imposes, the more she obeys. Her reins redirected, her volcanoes contained into clad iron vessels that carve the terrain. Then to find there is blood that runs under the soil, to be saved from the primitive ways we once toiled. What a marvelous mission our fishing the earth, for she kept all her jewels like a fool in the dirt. She did, The whole world a woman he can't look in the eye, after giving her body to him in the night. Her full moon filleted in the strange yellow light. Her once glamorous cities are clamoring hives, and the bottomless oceans he so longed to swim. By daylight are tangles of cellophane fish, and he begs she be calm and not fissure and pitch, for her storms interfere with his satellite dish. They do, they do. The whole world a stone that he turns in his hand, all his worrying wearing a groove in the land. From the seemingly extemporaneous game, he only learned retrospectively just how to play. Still he boldly declares, if I know her at all, she's still keeping secrets deep down in the soil. And if that's not enough, the game still can be won with the wind through a pinwheel and the light from the sun, with the on and on, on and on, and the on and on and on and on and on. The whole world a looking glass turned on itself, where he watches him watching her turn on the shelf, where he watches his own sorry self turn away, for to unfold his dream of an unspoiled place. For beneath this erecting of silica towers, he's terrestrially lonesome and beaconing out, and compulsively longing to rise from the dust in unearthly perfection and the likeness of God. From his clad iron ship, isn't this what I wanted? Isn't this what I wanted? Isn't this what I want? Ooh, from his view from the top, isn't this what I wanted? Isn't this what I want? The whole world a toy that he loved as a kid, when he used to believe he was part of all that. The whole world a sadness inside of his chest. If only to be part of all that. I would swim in her rivers, I would drink from her breast, eat the fruit from her trees, fall asleep in the grass. I would swim in her rivers, I would drink from her breast, eat the fruit from her trees, fall asleep in the grass. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. I think we may be hearing more about Hannah Zara as time goes on, huh? From Shelburne Falls, activist and singer-songwriter Hannah Zara. Thank you so much. A little bit of poetry in the middle of our politics here. So I now want to introduce a woman who probably links together all of these struggles in a way that few of us can. She's a resident of Wendell and a good friend and a magnificent organizer and a little quiet-spoken but powerful. So please welcome Laurel Facey.
Thank you all for being here. Earth Day is now 54 years old, and the Wendell State Forest has been in existence for 5. The trees and the forests and wetlands measure time in millennia. It is indeed their early development that enabled other forms of life to evolve. The Wendell State Forest aims to protect our forests in perpetuity for the good of life on Earth. It is just as true today that without our forests of trees and other life forms, we would not have human life on this planet. For one thing, forests are more than wood. That seems to have been lost on the extractive industry, lumber industry that only sees dollar signs and not the benefits that are provided by forests, such as the water cycle, so essential to life. 5 years ago, a group of concerned folk in Western Massachusetts got together to protect the Wendell State Forest from commercial logging. Our tax dollars have bought the lands that we call state parks, state forests, reservations, and other types of public lands, which belong to all of us in common. So we did standouts on Route 2, rallied at the ranger station in Wendell, sought an injunction in court, and some were arrested in the forest. Standing in front of them, not touching the machines, the fellow bunchers, to no avail. 80-year-old oaks felled to their machines, which are industrial chainsaws. We educated ourselves, then others, to the critical need, now more obvious than ever, to protect our forests in the face of a heating planet. We created materials such as cards that read, "Save the forest, save the climate." Our website, wendellforest.org, has photos and video to illustrate our mission. We have written legislation and met with government officials. These efforts are on the website, wendellforest.org, and you can also get in touch with us at wendellstateforest@gmail.com and on Facebook. These efforts are on the website, and we have some links there that you can come up close and see, some QR codes. Please use them. We have met every Sunday morning at 10:30 for over 5.5 years. New members are always welcome. And I can't do this because that's down there, but you know, there's a thread that goes through it all. The Sugar Shack is still here. There was an alliance that stopped Vermont Yankee, the nuclear station. That was Sugar Shack and In Wendell, it was water, trees, and branches. No, water, roots, and branches, that's what it was. And then we got together and stopped the Ned pipeline. Kinder Morgan wanted to put through the northern part and then the southern part of New Hampshire with a compressor station in Northfield. Didn't happen. We do not want solar collectors or battery storage, especially in our forests. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong project. Yes, we need solar, but not where we have trees that create the oxygen we need to breathe, to live, over an aquifer with water that we need, essentially. So please join us in protecting the Connecticut and also the town of Wendell. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And now to representing the Connecticut River Defenders, a person who is not only writing, but is going to speak to us about the river, Elizabeth Fernandez O'Brien. Please come up, Elizabeth.
Totally forgiven because we're all in this together, aren't we? Yeah. And I just want to mention that our little town of Shutesbury is getting sued. Sued by whom? Right there you can see our yard sign, by an organization that's multinational, and that organization has the absurd name of Pure Sky, in conjunction with the local business that owns, and it's called Coles, and Cinda Jones owns more land in the state of Massachusetts. Why cutting down our trees are so important? Because they want to put several industrial-sized solar sites of nearly 400 acres on the mountain side. And the actual materials of the solar projects will cause volatile compounds to rush down the hillside, because the mountainside, I should say, mountain higher than Mount Tom, higher than Mount Sugarloaf down to the river. Really high territory, and it will rush into the Amherst Reservoir, and therefore the people in the town of Amherst and the people who attend and live at UMass, their water will be affected. We are working very hard by putting in the Forest Allies for Responsible Solar are putting in a citizens petition. We're working with the Energy and Climate Change Commission in our town. We're joining together with No Assault and Battery and Connecticut River Defenders and other folks, because we have all these needs together, don't we? Yeah. And so what we are concerned about is that whole negation of forest carbon sequestration that has been mentioned, that it has devastating effects, not only on the local water processes, but also all of the complex life forms that are in our forest. Belchertown managed to do it by finding a threatened species. We're still looking. And all of the wells, all of the water in Shutesbury right now, we are on wells. Our wells are threatened, not only by the neglectful use of PFAS, but also the structure of these proposed industrial sites. There are little handouts, and these little handouts say your water well, and you can take them from our board now or in Northfield. And they talk about not only the process of water in all of our sites, but also they talk about how it will be devastating to our tiny town of Shutesbury. We are proposing not only our citizens' petition, but also, as you know, that solar should be put on highways, on already destroyed land, yes, and on parking lots, and on rooftops. And like many Western Mass towns, Shutesbury is forested, just huge percentage forested. On the other side of the mountain, it is forested as well, but that's preserved by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts because it's the water for the Quabbin, and the Quabbin goes to central and eastern Massachusetts. Our legislators, Senator Joe Comerford, Representative Aaron Saunders, in tandem with other representatives and senators, are working very hard to get legislation, not only to make the smart projects through the Commonwealth and the smart solar Shutesbury work for us, for our residences and our businesses and our homes, but also for the larger area. Pelham water is involved, Amherst, Shutesbury, Wendell, and even wider than that because we're working with Smart Solar Western Massachusetts. So you can see the threatened yard sign over there for the Shutesbury Road. Shutesbury, our tiny town. And I just want to close with thanking the Connecticut River Defenders for inviting us, because we want to work in tandem, in coalition with all of you. Thank you.
Now, please welcome to the stage Franklin County's own Annie Hassett.
So thank you all for coming. I'd like to start with saying miigwech. Thank you to Joe Gravelin to speaking to the spirit of our water. And share, yeah, Joe, thank you. To share a story with the grandmothers. The grandmothers speaking to their daughters and their grandmother and their grandchildren, saying, "The river, the water knows your name." And they passed on this song for the women to sing for healing for the water. It's a simple little piece, and it goes like this. Ni biwabo endayen aki mishkwi ni biwabo heya 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 hey heya 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 ho ni biwabo endayen aki mishkwi ni biwabo heya 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 hey heya 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 ho. Thank you. Thank you to the grandmothers for teaching for the women. So I'm going to share a song. Anybody knows it out there? It's Welcome Court. You're coming up. Court and Ben. So this song, came through. Friends of mine asked me if I could possibly write a song about the heroin epidemic. Friends that have lost their people to heroin. I said I didn't know, but this song came through, and if you know the chorus, any part of the song, please join me. For sharing, take heart, burdens are for bearing. We can stand together, build a brand new day. And look around the world, we see our families crying. Doesn't seem to matter all the things we're trying. Another needle in the arm is just a message. New day is dawning and it's time for healing. Rise up and show sharing. Take heart, burdens are for bearing. We can stand together, build a brand new way. Thank you.
All right. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to invite David Detmold up from the Solar Rollers. And when he's done talking, the monks and nuns from the Peace Pagoda in Leverett, welcome, welcome, we'll drum them out. So we'll line up. This will be a little bit more of a somber, respectful, and prayerful departure than our last one from Greenfield. You should know that at this very moment, walkers are stepping off from the Cabot camp and beginning a walk up to the picnic area, the Riverview picnic area, next to the intake valve in Northfield. And they will arrive there about the same time as the Solar Rollers are arriving there. You're welcome to join us. We'll have a picnic, one more rally, and we are going to stop this pump station from getting relicensed, prevent this battery in Wendell, and prevent the clear cutting of the Shutesbury Forest. Thank you for joining us.
Give me just a moment. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. I represent a group called the Solar Rollers. And the Solar Rollers were formed 46 years ago on a ride from Amherst to Seabrook, New Hampshire in protest of the planned construction of a twin nuclear reactor, just like we were facing here in Montague, before Sam Lovejoy knocked down that tower and called the world's attention to the dangers that corporate greed can bring to a small town like Montague, or a small town like Seabrook, or a small town like Rowe, Massachusetts, or Vernon, Vermont. And the Solar Rollers rode that day, about 50 or 60 of us. We stopped at Vermont Yankee, and we went on to Seabrook. And after that, we were invited out to Colorado, to the Rocky Flats nuclear weapons facility there. And we turned around that same summer and rode 7 weeks out to Rocky Flats, Colorado, to join Daniel Ellsberg sitting on the railroad tracks with the Rocky Flats Truth Force, and we shut down that plutonium factory. And we met some of the members of the same order of prayerful Buddhist monks, Nipponzan Myohoji Buddhist monks. We met them in Colorado in 1978. Thank you for being here to carry on that tradition. Our dear brothers and sisters from the Leverett Peace Pagoda. I know it's late and you've listened to a lot of speeches, and mine is going to be brief. I mean, the Solar Rollers, I could tell you many stories of all the nuclear plants we rode against, and most all of them are shut down now. Yankee Row got struck by lightning, it's gone. Vermont Yankee is gone, although they've left 700 tons of high-level nuclear waste on the banks of the largest river, this river. We have more work to do at Vermont Yankee, but that nuclear plant is at least not generating any more radioactive poison. We've got to find a solution for the 700 tons. It shouldn't be on the banks of the river that floods and will flood again. The Solar Rollers were called back here by the Connecticut River Defenders. We thank you. It's an honor after 46 years to ride again. There are several members of the Rollers here who rode on the 1978 trip. I just want to mention the names of two from that trip who aren't with us today, but I want to invoke their spirits because they would be here. If Al L. from North Adams was still alive today, he would be riding with us. If Brother Tom Wilson, the great anti-nuclear dentist from Shelburne Falls, was still alive, he would be here with us today. So they're here, their names have been brought into the room, into this space, this reclaimed native space that the Nolambika Project, that Joe Gravelin have brought us all together to understand the long native history and the desecration of the native river that we have to stop. the Northfield pump station, which is the last afterthought of Vermont Yankee. It was built to keep the excess power from Vermont Yankee from overloading the grid at night. And now, while we're sleeping, while we're dreaming, it is pumping the river backwards every night, killing millions of fish to make millions of dollars for a Canadian pension fund, and requiring far more electricity to do so than it ever produces. This is a desecration to the river, and we have to shut it down, and we will shut it down. Shut it down. And the last two names I want to leave you with today are those of two young boys who were swimming in this river in July of 1998. They were wonderful boys, and they were involved in organizing fundraising for the skate park, which finally got built right over here. And you can see their names on skateboards in honor of their efforts. They were only 12 or 13 at the time. And they went swimming one day. And suddenly the current changed and overwhelmed Winter, Orion Clark, and his friend Chris Gallagher jumped in to save him. And they both drowned. You know, that's not the way the river should be. Boys should be able to swim in the river. Girls should be able to swim in the river. All of us should be able to swim in the river. We need to shut that plant down. Thank you so much.
All right, so now the monks and nuns will line up over on this roadway here, and I guess Gary will show you exactly over here along there. They're going to be riding out this pathway out out that way. So if we want to line up along this and send them off, and we thank the monks and nuns from Leverett for sending us off. We will see you possibly in Northfield.
So we will rise as one, rise as one, working hand in hand. We will rise as one.
Hey, cutie!
We will laugh, we will cry. We will laugh as one, we will cry as one, we will rise as one. We will laugh as one, we will cry as one, we will rise as one. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. One, we will bike as one, we will rise as one, we will walk as one, we will bike as one, we will fight as one. We will live as one. We will rise as one. We will fight. We will fight as one. We will win as one. We will rise as one. We will rise. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. Working hand in hand, we will rise as one. Let's hear a little rise as one, a little quieter. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. We will rise as one. A little louder. 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 We will rise as one. Shout out loud. We will rise as one.
You got one, Annie? I do. Okay. Uh-oh! What do I see? All right. Here they come. Let's hear it for the Rulers.
Rolling on a river. That's our theme song.
Left a good job in the city. No, that isn't what I'm going to do. What's that I hear ringing in my ears? I heard that sound before. What's that I hear ringing in my ears? I hear it more and more. It's the sound of freedom calling, rising up to the sky. It's the sound of the always falling. You can hear it if you try, can hear it if you try, can see it if you try. What's that I see shining in my eyes? I see that light before. What's that I see shining in my eyes? I've seen it more and more. It's the light of freedom shining, rising up to the sky. It's the light of the always falling. You can see it if you can see it if you try, can see it if you try. What's that I feel beating in my heart? Felt that beat before. What's that I feel beating in my heart? I feel it more and more. It's the love of freedom shining, rising up to the sky. It's the love of the always falling. You can feel it if you try, and feel it if you try, can see it if you try, and
sing this one with us. This is going to launch us off into this rally here. I'm going to lay down that pump house down by the riverside.
Down by
the riverside.
Down by
the riverside. I'm going to lay down that pump house down by the riverside. Bring our power home. And we're gonna bring our power home. 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 We're gonna bring our power home.
Well, we won't stop till we shut it down.
Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, well, we won't stop till we shut it down by the riverside. Bring our power home. Hey, gonna bring our power home. We're 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 gonna bring our power. Welcome, riders.
We say many watch only
Down by the riverside, down by the river, down by the riverside. Well, many watch only down by the riverside. Bring our power home. Hey, we're gonna bring our power home. 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 We're gonna bring our power home.
What do you say, Court?
We want live fish, not dead fish. Down by the riverside, way down by give me live fish, not dead fish. Oh, down by the riverside, bring our power home. We're gonna 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 bring our power. Sing it with us one last time. Here we go. We're gonna bring our power home. 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 All right, that's good. I'll launch this. Yeah, I got all the order. All right. Well, after a wonderful day, this is our third rally. This magnificent coalition of Smart Solar Shutesbury, Allies for Responsible Solar, the Wendell State Forest Alliance, the NAB, No Assault and Batteries in Wendell, and the Connecticut River Defenders coming together, unstoppable. I'd like now to introduce to you the MC for this rally and solar roller of many, many years, the incomparable, the magnificent, the founder of the Montague Reporter, the Big D, David Detmold.
Court, you're a master of overstatement and a shameless liar, but we love you and thank you for everything you have done. The only group that you didn't mention as part of this coalition, of course, the Solar Rollers. Here we are. We made it. And we made it 46 years after our first bicycle ride, which at least 3 or 4 of the people here today can raise their hands and say, I was on it. Terry Plotkin, Gary Selden, and at least one other person here rode to Seabrook that year. We rode from Amherst to Vermont Yankee and then to Seabrook. And on the way to Seabrook, we got asked to turn around and head out to Rocky Flats, Colorado to shut down that nuclear weapons plant. So we had a busy summer that year, and we are tremendously honored to be invited back to a much more local but very, very pressing issue, sort of the last vestige of the nuclear reactor age here in the Connecticut Valley, built to take the excess energy overnight from Vermont Yankee and to suck the river backwards up the mountain using all that excess electricity from a nuclear reactor that was shut down 10 years ago, and it's still sucking the river backwards, killing millions of fish a year and pumping millions of dollars out of our local economy today. So we're going to shut it down, but before we get into all of that, we are very honored here to have among us a person who is going to remind us of the true names of these rivers that we're protecting and of the long native presence here. And I want to welcome to the stage